Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I have been looking at what I have and shopping my stash to see what I can use to create some nails that were inspired by some things I got from M's Nail Art Supplies, and that haul is already up. So the foils and there that I have, they're from M's Nail Art Supplies. I have some Dali colours. I have some Neo Nails colours. I have a Xeijayi. We've got various different charms, and so those two little pots are from M's Nail Art Supplies as well. We have some other charms that are probably Amazon. We have some stamping plates, one from the Atlantis collection, and the other from the Sailor collection from OU London. We have some glitters, we have some stickers, and basically I'm just going to create a set that is under the sea themed. So the rainbow bubble set and the mermaid, I can't remember what it is fully. It will be linked in the description. The mermaid mix, I think it is, from M's Nail Art Supply, are sort of what inspired this, and I'd gotten a few sort of fish themed foils as well. So we're starting with some tips that I've already prepped. They are long coffin shapes and they are from McCart, and we're just going to put some base coat on these. So this base coat is from Dali. This is one of their ultra low hemas, and they seem to be phasing that out, but I got this as part of a bigger set that I had gotten on Vinted, and quite a lot of it is the ultra low. There are some of the Hema frees in it as well, so I want to try, where possible, to get in the Hema free ones from Dali. That seems to be what they're doing mostly at the moment, and so I'm using mainly the ultra lows on videos and things. So I'm trying to decide what base coat to use. I have a few different options. I want to go with one of the lighter ones. I have gone with the Xeijayi one rather than the Dali. They were quite similar to each other, but the Xeijayi was just a teensy bit paler, and I just wanted to go with that one. I have no idea yet. As I was recording this, I still had no idea really what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to incorporate some of the ocean cat eye. I knew I wanted to incorporate some glittery nails. So I am applying some base coat. So we're doing the base coat in that Xeijayi. I don't know what number it is because I covered up all the numbers with my swatch stickers. So yeah, there we go. But I did get it from a recent Temu haul where I then lost all the footage. So, you know, these things happen. So the original plan was for the ring finger that I'm now painting in that blue to just be glitter. But, you know, I forget these things and it's fine. We're not going to worry too much about it. Pop them in for a cure and voila, they are done. And I immediately take that ring finger out so I don't do it again. Putting that base coat on it doesn't make much difference. So that has now been covered with Mermaid Scales, I think it is, from Neo Nails. And they just smell amazing. They smell like bubblegum. I mean, I could just sit and sniff those all day. Don't sniff nail polish. Don't do it. However, yeah, they just smell amazing. I have no idea why it decided not to focus here. It was obviously having a mood. I completely understand. My camera was in for a tough day's work. And this was only the start of the day. So I recorded this on Saturday. And so a second coat there of the blue, of the glitter Mermaid Scales on that ring finger. I recorded this on Saturday, and Saturday was going to be a busy day for me because Lip Smacking Nails were having their first live and I wanted to join in that. So I wasn't going to be on the live, but I did want to be able to take part in the improv from home. So I needed to get this finished because I wanted to get this out of my head as well. So on this nail, we are going to do some stamping. So the polish, like I said, is called Mermaid Scales. And we're going to put some mermaid scales on it, because what else would you do with a polish called Mermaid Scales? And I've just double checked. Yes, it is Mermaid Scales. And so, as per normal, putting on stamping is not going to work out the first time round. That's fine. I've left in all the edits. I think this one only took 3 attempts. So that was number 1. And I think what happened there was I had gone to line it up. Yeah, I'd gone to line it up and it had accidentally touched the nail. So that put an end to that one. It wasn't centered or straight. So it had to go. Next one, attempt number 2, did not pick up cleanly. We're missing part at the top, and I wasn't happy with it. I could have gotten away with it, but we decided to go for third time lucky. Really clean out that stamping plate. So on my last video where I did stamping, I said that I used alcohol. And no, I don't use alcohol. I do use acetone. But I think I was like doing that voiceover at like 1 a.m, which is not a good time for me to be doing voiceovers apparently, because I make mistakes. So it is acetone. I did try this one when I was doing this one just to see, does alcohol work? It does not. It does not work. It does not clean the scrapers because the polish is dried, and yeah, so it is definitely acetone that we are using on these. So I've put that down on the top part of the nail, but I do want it all over the nail, so we're going back in again. And we're going to do the bottom part of the nail. There's the top of my head. I've no idea why I'm trying to clean the mat. I've just sort of accepted it. I should have just sort of accepted this stage. It's not going to happen. I do need to get a different mat that's not going to A, reflect the light, and B, is actually going to be cleanable, because this started off lovely and now has bits of glitter, chrome, foil, polish, everything on it. So I need to rethink the mat idea. So we lined it up, it didn't work. It wasn't enough for me to need to restart. I was able to take off what had caused the issue there and figure out how to line it up properly and get that on. And we were all done with that nail. Clean off the stamper again, so I use a lint roller for that. And I use a lint roller for cleaning my silicone mat as well, as you'll see later. So beside that, the scales pattern there, you'll notice side to side there's like little scales. So original plan was to put little scales in different colours. So I've gotten a turquoise. All my stamping polishes that I'm using today are from Born Pretty. This is a turquoisey teal kind of a colour, but I think it just goes with the mermaid scales so well that it had to be that one. There was no other colour option really for this. So just lining that up, getting that into place. I'm not worried about it being absolutely perfect, because, you know, as long as it is fairly within the scales that are marked out, then that's fine. If it goes over it slightly, it goes over it. Not going to worry too much about it. Again, need to finish off the bottom of that. It hasn't really picked up properly in this. No, it has. Some of them, somewhat. I'm going to just sort of pick off what I don't want, figure out what I do want, put into place and stamp, and we're done. And clean that off. I was considering doing some on the from the other side as well, decided against it and decided instead to do a little motif. So it is, what it says is, let the sea set you free, or something like that. Again, hang on, I have a little basket with everything that I used in it right beside me. And it says, yeah, let the sea set you free. But it just didn't work in the silver. So I'm going to have to rethink that. Again, I did eventually get it on. And then I was looking at it and going, you can't really see it. It should have been a much darker colour. Maybe if I'd done it in a darker blue or something, that would have worked. I'm sort of looking at it and not quite so happy with it. And I think about wiping it off. And then I realise if I wipe it off, I wipe off all of the stamping. And we're not doing that again. So it gets a top coat instead. And it gets to stay. So yeah, in future, I think if I am not quite sure about something, I will top coat it first. So there you can kind of see it. You can't see the writing at all. It is there. It's just not showing very well. So I have decided to use the Dali Ocean Cat Eye. And this is just gorgeous. I love it. I've only had it a week and I absolutely love it. So we're putting this on a couple of the nails. So we're going to do thumb, middle and little finger with this. And again, I'm still not quite sure what I'm doing, where I'm going to go with this, what the final outcome is going to be, what it's going to look like at the end. And so I'm making this up as I go along. Some of this will get covered up again and that's fine. You know, I am just going with the flow here, seeing what happens, seeing what my brain decides to try to do. So first cure for that, I haven't done anything with it. Second time round, I am going to zhuzh it up and bring out that fabulous effect on it. So getting the magnet. Again, this is one I have gotten from Temu and it's brilliant. I still don't fully know what I'm doing with magnets. I did hear a really good explanation though, which is originally what you're doing is when you're doing that fast flicking from up and down on one side, it's to bring all of it over to that side. And then when you go to the other side, you're pulling it over. So you should just do sort of one swipe to bring it all across. I obviously have a lot more work to do to get anywhere near as good as some people with that. But it was Beauty Matters UK that was explaining that one. And it makes sense. So final nail with the cat eye here. Again, just zhuzhing it up, hoping for the best, no idea what I'm really doing, and just sort of copying what I've seen other people do. But yeah, so there we go, that's one of them back out, and that's another one back out, and I can't remember which is which, so I have to put them beside each other to work out which is thumb and which is middle finger. Now I'm deciding between two different glitters. So we have one from the Pride collection from Dali, which is in that yellow bottle, and the second one, which is one I am using, is Bottle of Dreams from Now Nails. And again, that is, it just goes on so nicely. But that one only needed one coat, whereas I know the Dali would have needed 2 coats. And actually I wanted the slightly chunkier glitter that the Now Nails one has. So I've decided to attempt a sort of a beach sort of look on the middle nail. We have used a Xeijayi, again, don't know what number it is because I covered all of them up. And we're going to sort of level it out a little bit, sort of give it a kind of an ombre effect without it being an ombre. So this is from a set of brushes that I got from Amazon. I absolutely love them. This is their ombre brush. I'll be using more of the brushes later in the video. So I've taken a little bit too much off the base of it, trying to put that back on. Making sure it's not streaky at the sides. and stick that into the lamp to cure. And yeah, back out comes that second fingernail. And so that sound effect, now that I have it there and it looks lovely, I'm going to cover it up with glitter. Because that's what you do. I really am making this up as I go along. So we're going with a goldy glitter. This is, I have been collecting glitter for a long time. I have worked with various youth groups over the years. I've been a primary school teacher, and glitter seems to be one of the constant things in my life. So I have always had little pots of glitter around the place. So this could be from anywhere. It could be from Amazon. It could be from a school supply shop. It could be, you know, it's a little pot of gold glitter. So we've done that on one half nail and it looks lovely. And I decide, you know what? I want to glitter the top half as well. So we're going to glitter the top half again in one of my other little pots. And dark blue this time, so we're covering up all of that lovely cat eye that I did earlier, but not to worry. You know, it's all good practice, and like I said, I'm making this up as I go along. I'm still trying to figure out a lot of stuff with regards to what I'm doing with nail art and all of that, and it's definitely an area that I feel like I am improving on. You know, I'm definitely noticing little improvements with it, and that's what I want to be happening, and that's only going to happen if I let myself sort of experiment and try to figure out what I want, and I'm allowed to change my mind about things and, you know, decide to do that with this one because I want to try something very, very different that I have not done before, and here it is. So I have tried this before. If you have seen my Jumbled June video, I made some donuts with this and made lots of mistakes. Learned a lot doing it. So I have decided to try to create something to go onto the nail. So see if you can try to guess what it is before I actually finish it. It is obviously sea themed. It is something I've never tried to mold before, and so yeah, doing it to go onto a nail made obvious sense. And actually, you know, it didn't turn out too bad. You can tell I'm concentrating when my head gets further in and you get to see more of my hair. I'm really concentrating at that stage. So you can probably guess at this stage what it is. It is a little starfish, and now I have to try to get it up. And yeah, we've lost a leg. We lost a leg, and I think we nearly lost a second one, so I decided, scrap that, let's do it right on the nail. So we're going to, now that I know that I can do a starfish, we're going to attempt it on the nail and see how it goes this time. So again, starting off with that cuticle tool, getting it onto the nail, flattening it out a little bit, and then trying to make little cuts to make the little legs. And yeah, it wasn't working quite so well. Part of me was worried about scratching and taking off the glitter, so what we end up doing is using a silicone tool instead with a pointy end on it, and that worked much easier in terms of shaping. So we can still use we're still using the cuticle tool to cut and segment the starfish into its various legs, and then we're using the silicone tool then to shape it. Is it the most amazing looking starfish? No. Is it a starfish? Yes. Yes, it is a starfish. It has 5 tentacles, five legs. It you know, it looks starfish shaped. You can't see it obviously at the moment because it is clear. But there we go. I am happy with it. It's, you know, it's it was work. It was definitely work to try to get it and get it looking starfishy. But I've learned from the last time, it has gone straight into the lamp. And it did get a full cure. You mightn't think it did, but it did, because I cut out the little curing bits. So we're using one of the pressed chromes from Dali, and I absolutely love these. So I got these when they were released 2 weeks ago, and absolutely brilliant. I've used them a couple of times now, and I really like them. So just, yeah, chroming up my little starfish. I do kind of wish I could have been able to like put some like little dimples or something into him, but when I thought of it at this stage, it was a bit late because obviously he'd been cured. And I couldn't properly see things when I was making him because he was clear. So the other thing that I learned from my previous attempts of chroming was top coat it afterwards, top coat it immediately, because otherwise, yeah, it doesn't, it will start to rub off. So just top coating that. I don't want to top coat the glitter, so just being very careful, just top coat the actual starfish. And in that goes to the lamp as well. And now we're moving on to our next nail while that is curing. And so this is the one that I covered in the Bottle of Dreams from Neo Nails. And I'm going to attempt to put some stickers on it. So we're really trying to use different things in this video on this set of nails. And the stickers didn't quite work as well as I would have liked. I think perhaps next time I will use stamps instead. I think stamping would have been more effective for it, or even foils, but the words not working. They never do work for me. The stickers, particularly the smaller, like just outline stickers, they just didn't work for this. So I think next time I will just use stampers or foils. Or actually, there was glitter pieces in the Mermaid mix that I could have used as well. Or there was some Fimo. I don't think the Fimo would have worked for this, for what I was sort of going for with this. But I think the glitter pieces would have. There's in the Mermaid mix, there's like little mermaid pieces, mermaid shaped pieces of glitter that I think would have worked better than the poor mermaid that I'm trying to butcher as I take off here. It didn't end very well. And that was heavily edited because there was it took a lot longer than what you are seeing for me to actually get those stickers removed from the sheet. So we've 2 mermaids on there, and just feel like there needs to be something else up towards the top of it. So we are also getting a little seahorse as well to put onto it. And there we go, there's our little seahorse. And excellent, so that one's that finished. Just need to top coat it as well now. And stick that one into the lamp, and we will be ready to move on to our next nail. Can't remember now which one I did next. I think it was the little finger. And we've a different stamping plate out. So this is the one from the this is the one from the Sailor collection. So it's number 8 from the Sailor collection. And previously I used number 6 from the Atlantis collection. So again, this takes multiple attempts to get it off cleanly. And yeah, no surprises there. How long does it take Ellen to get a stamp up? Forever, apparently. So there we go. We're on, what's that, attempt 2? Making sure we've plenty of polish on it. Will it work? No. No, it didn't work. I don't know about anyone else, but like I put things down and then I look for them and I can't find them. And so every so often, particularly when I'm doing stamping, I'll have put the stamper somewhere and I'll be like, or the scraper, and where did I put it? It can't have gone that far. I mean, like I literally had it in my hand a half second ago and now I can't find it. Is anyone else like that? Or is that just me? I'm sure it's not just me. It can't be just me. But there we go. So we're happy with that one. It was all lifted off, just getting some stubborn bits out that just would not come off with the scraper. And we are going onto the little finger with this. We put it down. There's still quite a bit of it from one of the sides there. You can see, no, wasn't happy with that one. So why am I top coating that? Why have I put another layer of something onto it? I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I did there. I must... Maybe... Oh, do you know what? I remember now. When I went to put the stamper on it, it kind of slid around a little bit. So I don't know whether or not I just put it into the lamp previously but didn't actually cure it, which is very, very possible. Yeah, maybe I just thought I'd press the button and I hadn't, and that's why I had to put a quick top coat on, put a quick clear coat on it and back into the lamp. It hadn't fully cured, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. So we've put it on again. There's a little bit left of the side, so we changed the shape of our little sea plant there, so that we got more of it onto the nail. And I'm going to put some foil glue. This foil glue is from Sparkle Supplies UK. Put it into cure, and while we're doing that, I decide let's add to our starfish nail, and we're going to add some little starfish charms to it, because you know that's what you do when you've put foil glue onto something and you haven't picked out what foil you're going to put onto it properly. You know it's going to be a fish, but you haven't figured out which part yet. So priorities. And I realised that as soon as I take it out of the lamp, I sort of go, oh, well done, Ellen. You have once again done things in the wrong order. Now I've sort of realised I don't know which fish I'm putting onto it, and I need to figure that out and cut it out and get the fish on, all before the glue stops being gluey. Sticky, that's the word I'm looking for, sticky. So because I'm sort of in a rush with this, I haven't measured this up properly. The poor fish loses his mouth because he's just a little bit too big for this nail. But he comes out fairly good otherwise. He's just a little bit too big for the nail, and that comes down to me not planning properly and not... I should have figured out which foil I wanted, which fish, measured it up, and then put the foil glue on. Put into cure, cut out the foil bit that I wanted, and then figured out my little starfish nail and adding more starfish to it afterwards, because that should have been the order that I did things rather than the order that I did. My thumbnail keeps popping off there. No idea why. So this fish has come out fairly well, considering that I am still very much a novice at foiling. I'm quite happy with this. If you haven't seen my video where I tried different foil gels and try to figure out foiling, please do check that one out as well. That one went up yesterday, I think it was. So we're now, yeah, we still had one more starfish we wanted to add to this nail. It's going to happen. I am fairly insistent it is going to happen. So last one going on. And voila. So they're going to go into the lamp as well for a full cure at some point. There we go. They're going into the lamp now as well. We've taken our little fish out. I did try to zoom in to see if you could see it, but it just pixelated a little too much. So I am just giving this wipe because when it caught on my glove, it just tacked up a little bit, and I want to try to create like a shell effect. So I've given it a clean to try to remove some of the tacky layer. So give it a quick wipe with, I think it was acetone. I used for all of this video. And now I'm going to attempt with, this is a 7mm liner brush, to create that like 3D shell effect. I have never tried this before. I've never tried using this gel before. We opened it when we got it, and that's sort of all it has been used for. So this is my first time trying to use this. And actually, it didn't come out too bad. I am quite happy with how it looked at the end. So we have that lovely cat eye underneath it as well. So just creating a little shell pattern on it. Decided it wasn't big enough. I wanted it to be bigger. So we're making it bigger. And now doing the other side as well. And the last one, and just sort of getting everything that I want on it, making sure that the base of it is looking neat, and in that goes into the lamp. Clean off my brush. Sort of pretend I'm organised and tidy up after myself. It doesn't happen generally. So once that has come out of the lamp, we are going to chrome it, which is one of the reasons why I wiped off the tacky layer. So we're going to chrome it, and we're using the gold from that Dolly pigment palette. So there we go, all nicely chromed. Try to remove it and the excess that I don't want, and it's not coming off properly, and I'm sitting there, what do I do now? Because really I should have buffed it. I should have wiped the tacky layer off, buffed it, given it another wipe, then applied the 3D gel, cured it, and then chromed it. Or matte top coat and then 3D gel. So they're the two things that I should have done for that to work, but I didn't. So it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So chroming isn't going to work. Applying a matte top coat is going to be too difficult. So I am using a gold gel liner that I have. This is from a set from Amazon that I got. It was a beginner set, and it came with 3 liners, gold, silver and white, and actually they're really, really nice. I do like using them. So just being very, very careful as I am painting this, because doing things nice and neatly and fine details is something I'm still working on. So there we go, almost finished that. This is actually at double speed and it still feels really, really slow. Stick that into the lamp to cure it. And we are going to use some of the rainbow bubbles and some from the Mermaid mix from M's Nail Art Supplies. And these rainbow bubbles, they're just so cute. I tried to take them out one at a time with the thing, and that wasn't working very well because I wanted to get some of the ones in different sizes. So best option, sprinkle them into one of my little trays. So this is a mixture of rainbow bubbles in 3 sizes and also some stars and some like sugar strands. So I'm trying to find the ones that I want. And then the mermaid mix, I'm going to take one of the large pearls out of. And that's going to be at the base of my little shell. Putting them all back in. And there we go, large pearl. Just checked it for size, see was it too big? No, it wasn't, it was fine. So getting the McCarthy Rhinestone Glue back out again. And yeah, going to apply the pearl, which did try to keep running away from me. And we're curing that straight away to keep it in place. So this is a UV torch that I got on Amazon. It was only £2 or £3. It was quite cheap. So we have that one at the end, at the base of the shell. And what I've decided to do is put some of the rainbow bubbles at the end of each of the little prongs, spokes, whatever we are calling them, spines on the shell. So we're going to, you can see it tipped out. This is the type of organised chaos that I love. I really do need to be much neater when I'm doing these things. So trying to get those little balls back into the tray. I need to find another big one. And I'm just going to get that straight out of the little container that they are in. Cure it. And repeat the process as well for the last 2. So there's 2 more on each side. A medium and a small will go on each side there. And again, they keep trying to run away from me, but you know, I get them. Curing it in place, and then over to the other side to repeat as well for the last 2, so the medium and the small. And once I get these into place, they're going straight in for the final cure. I don't need to flash cure these because they're going straight in for that final cure. And while that's there, I'm going to tidy up a little bit, pretend I do that as I go along, which I don't. Everything just gets shoved to the side. And then we're going to top coat. So we are just, I'm not going over the little bubbles, and I'm not going over the pearl. I think the smallest of the little bubbles are kind of level with the top layer, with the top coat, but you know, that's fine. So we're just trying to avoid it where we can, just so they can keep their sort of iridescence that they have. And in that goes into the lamp. And And yeah, so that is my little under the sea inspired set. Inspiration came from when I was unboxing the M's Nail Art Supplies stuff, and we've included some things from just that I just generally had as well, and tried some different techniques and tried to do some new things. So that is the full set, nice and close. If you have enjoyed this, please do like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me this evening. Bye!